Awesome. Well, happy Monday, everybody. I cannot believe we are almost to Thanksgiving. It's crazy. Somebody asked me earlier, we will have another one of these next Monday night. Um, because we still have several days till Thanksgiving. But I am just excited to be on here. I want to talk to you guys about enrolling people and how to continue to find people to enroll even after you've done this a while, and then building consultants. And so, first of all, if you know our family, you know my husband's like a huge Alabama fan. We have a lot of new Louisiana team members, and so they gave me this really beautiful LSU hat. And Justin just walked in here and saw this, and he's like, I can't even be in the same room as you. And he just went back upstairs. So if you're listening and you're on our New Orleans team, you should really appreciate this, because I might be in trouble in the doghouse when I go back upstairs. But anyway, okay, so just enrolling. I love, I know some of you guys are incredible enrollers because you enroll several people every single week. And at the beginning of 2017, Justin and I decided we were going to try to consistently enroll between 6 and 10 people a month. And typically, I would say before that, we would enroll on average like 5 a month. And we've done that pretty consistently for 10 years. And some of you, I get the question a lot, like, where do you find people? How do you not run out of people? Who do you talk to? And so this year, especially with our goal to have more enrollments, to have like the 6 to 10 enrollments a month, we knew we'd really have to, plug into more places than we had before, and do that type of thing. So I've done a lot of coaching with Kathy Coover, and you guys, if you've heard her train from the stage, you hear her talk about 80% of your time should be prospecting and enrolling, and 20% should be coaching. And I think that's a huge place where people get stuck, and they feel like they get to like 2-star and they're like, I'm going to become the manager of my team now. And you stop prospecting and enrolling and you start managing people. And how many of you have ever gotten management mode in your business? Hands are going up and heads are shaking. And if you get in management mode, what happens really quickly, right, is that you're probably your team's best enroller. I always tell everybody, if you're doing this as a business, you're a great enroller, you're out sharing with people. So if you stop enrolling, your team stops enrolling. Your people are going to do what you do, right? Just like your kids do what you do, not what you say. And that's what you have to remember, that if you're not doing the do, they're not going to do it either. And so, I've seen so many people, and I've coached so many people. I just did a coaching call this morning with a lady who said, my business is stuck, and she was going to do different stuff for her team. And I was like, no, Sarah, don't do anything for your team. Don't offer all these special promotions. Go out yourself and enroll 10 new people this month and 10 new people next month, and your business will turn around. And so, you have to remember that 80% of the time you should be enrolling and prospecting. And if you guys have not read Eric Worre's book, Go Pro, you want to get it out. If you have read it, I would get it out and I'd read it again. Because in there, he talks about the 3 types of people in network marketing. The first one is the poser. And so when you make that list, that you have people on your team that say, I want to build a business. And you have them make a list, and they put 5 to 10 people on the list. And if you're new on the call tonight, and we say, make your list, or your enroller says, make your list, and you have 5 to 10 people on there, and it's your family members, that does not count as making a list. And then you have the amateurs, and those are people that have made a list of 100 people. So, look at your own list. And if your list has 100 people or less, or it started with 100 people or less, then that still is not really looking at this as something that's going to move you out of your full-time profession into Isogenics, into network marketing. What you really want to do is you want to have a list of 200 plus, and you always want to be adding to the list. And that's the key. I mean, there are some of you that are on our team that I can see your pictures right here, and you consistently enroll, 5, 6, 7, 8 people a month. And they're no different than if you're watching this and you're like, well, crap, I only enroll 2 people a month if I'm lucky. Then you've got to do the work that puts you in the place to get those enrollments. And if you look at people who are professionals in this industry who've done it for, more than a couple years, and who have consistently kept their enrollments up, what you're going to find is that they're putting themselves intentionally in places to meet new people. And so intentionally, like, I made a list of just some of the things, like volunteering, like I do things that I want to do that fulfill my life, and I plug into places that are people that I don't know. So we started volunteering last week I posted about that at we've always contributed to Second Harvest, but we hadn't actually went in person and worked Second Harvest. So going there was all these different people I met, you know, and I didn't talk to one of them about isogenics. I'm just building relationships with people. You guys, where I work out, I just started going to a new spin class because that's new people that I'm going to plug into and meet. You know, another place is a new chiropractor, like just different things in your life that you do every day or that you are going to do, and just plug into new areas where you can meet new people, because that's where I used to say new blood. And a lot of our team would say that. And then I was like, oh, I don't know if that sounds great, but you know what I mean? But putting yourself in areas where there's new people and that you're going to be able to make connections with. You guys, because when we made our list, when I was new, I made 3 lists. I made a list of who we knew. I said to Justin, if we're going to get married tomorrow again, who would we invite? And we made a list of like 250 family and friends. Like if your kids were going to get married tomorrow, or if you were going to get married again tomorrow, who would you invite? And put everybody on that list. And then we made a list of, you know, the people that we did business with, anybody that was a service provider to us, who cut my hair, who changes our oil, you know, who's our mailman, anybody that we do a service with, we put them on the list. Our insurance agent, our travel agent, just anybody that you pay monthly that you do a service with, and we put them on the list. Just everybody. Because here's the thing. When you take that list, what we did, and these are things that I've done over the years. So I took that original list, and then beside each of those people, write 5 people they know. So like if I put Nikki on my list, then I would write beside Nikki 5 people that Nikki knows. Or if I put Carrie on my list, I'd write 5 people beside that Carrie knows. I know that Carrie knows Lisa. I know that Carrie knows Chris. You know, I know that Carrie knows Riley. You put 5 people that you know she knows. And then I put Jessica. Okay, who are 5 people that Jessica knows? Because if you have a list of 50 people, like I have a list of like 37 or 38 people I talked to you guys about last week that I made. Actually, I've added a couple more names on that. And so, but those people, then beside each one, just writing a few people that they know as well, so that as you're enrolling them, right away, you have people that they can talk to that you've already thought of for them. And if you have a list of 100 and you put 4 beside each name, or 5, that's 500 people on your list instead of 100. I mean, if I said to you, here's $1 million of cold hard cash, Carla would give me a list of 500 names, and she's already talked to a lot of people, right, Carla? And so that's the thing, is that that's how that works. You have to always be growing your list and always adding new people, and never prejudging, because you guys, the people that you think are going to do it don't, and the people that you don't think will do. I mean, that's what's shocked me in this. And you don't know who knows who knows who. So like when I enrolled my roommate Michelle from college, you know, my goal right after I enrolled her, and this is something that I know Justin was just with our team in Michigan, and he like drove home with everybody, is launch parties, sip and sample, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. We've done them for 11 years. They never had a fancy name, and they worked. They don't need a name or a fancy flyer. You just call people and you invite them to your house. And so, and it can be 3 people, 4 people. It doesn't have to be 20. It doesn't have to be some big fancy thing. It's consistency that matters. The consistency is the key. We've done the same boring thing for 11 years. And that's what people don't want to hear. I said last week, or I wrote it down somewhere, like, you have to get really good at doing the mundane. You have to be really consistent at doing the boring stuff, that daily stuff that nobody wants to do. Because when you consistently do that, that's where you'll find success. Is he not so cute? He still loves me.
After 11 years, the same Monday thing.
Same mundane thing. And I'm even wearing the LSU hat. That's not what he said earlier. He was not kind to the LSU hat. He's out. Okay, so now I got to get refocused. He still makes me blush after all that time. Okay, so back on track. The mundane. And the reason I share that is because, like, so when I enroll somebody still, the very, very first thing I try to do is to get them to let me come share with just 3 or 4 people that they know. So if I enrolled you, like with Peggy, when we and Peggy got started, the very, very first thing we did was we did a launch party at her home that Friday night. She called it a TGI Friday because that's what her and her friends did. And she did that for 5 straight Friday nights. And in 5 weeks, you guys, from never doing network marketing, she became an executive. In 5 weeks. Because every Friday night she did it. But that's the thing. Like when Justin was just in Michigan, he's like, Hilari, if they would every week, like each one of those people would do a launch party. And we're not saying 20 million people and something fancy, but get in front of 3 or 4 people. And then you get in front of 3 or 4 people the next week, 3 or 4 people the next week. So when I was in New Orleans, we got people in Joanna's house. I'm like, Joanna, when I leave, every week, I want you to pick a night and get 3 or 4 people at your house. And what's going to happen is that 3 or 4 people is going to grow to 8 people, and they're going to bring some people. It's going to grow to 12 people, and then 20 people, and you're going to have to move out of your house. But it's the consistency that does it. And I mean, sometimes nobody's going to show up. I mean, we've done them a lot of times and nobody showed up, but you just do it anyway, and you just keep doing it. It's that consistency that builds that team and that camaraderie and all of that. And you just, like I said, you can't prejudge. Like, I enrolled my roommate, Michelle, from college. She lived about an hour and a half away. And so she was only on the product for a week. And I said to her, Michelle, I'm going to come up to your house. I want you to get like 3, 4, 5, 80 your family or friends together. And I'm going to share this. We're going to help you to get your products paid for. She said, I don't want to do the business like you do it. I said, I'm not asking you to do the business. I'm going to help you get this paid for because I know you're going to want to keep using it. So you just get people in your home and I'll come do the work. And so she got people in her home and she got enrollments. And you guys, then for those new people, we said to those new people, which one of those was Jane, we're going to come do the exact same thing for you. Can you get like 8 or 10 people together? And Jane said, sure, but I don't want to do it in my home. Can we do it at my insurance office? Yes. So went up and we did that for Jane, and Jane enrolled people. And we did it again for Jane, and Jane enrolled people. And one of those people was Holly DeMott. And Holly DeMott brought in Lori Harder and Emily Vavra, and that down through that line comes Kathy Savage and the Norries and the Engelberts. And if I forgot your name, there's like a zillion of you guys, so you know who you are, all of them. So my point is that was from me saying to Michelle, let's get some people in your home. Who do you know that we can get in your home? I wasn't saying let's build a big business, but I was saying, who can you get in your home? And in Justin's spot, we just hit executive. And so with those people, that's a really, when you are building consultants and they're new, it's not really strong because somebody might fall off because somebody doesn't order again. So you say to that person, Bree, I'm going to come to your house. And Bree's one of our new consultants. Bree, just get 5 or 3, 4, 5 people in your home. We're going to get you a couple more people so that she has more than just 2 people, not just her husband and her sister, but she has some other people who are going to consistently order each month so that those people, are strong consultants, not just consultants with 2 people. So, I think it's really important that you do that right away. From the time of enrollment, that then you go out and you consistently help them right away to get their 2 people. I made a bunch of notes for tonight, so I'm looking over here. Another thing is that when we started, just don't prejudge. And I mentioned that, because who you think won't, who you think will, won't, that deal. But as you're writing down people, and I write down Bree and then I write down her 5 people, I do think in my mind, who are, not just who needs the product, but I think who does Bree know that's, open-minded? Who does Bree know that's entrepreneurial in spirit? Who does Bree know that, knows a huge network of people? You guys think about the people that have influence, that have big circles of people. Those are the people you want to help get. And we want to help everybody, but you want to help those people get started if you're wanting to grow up quickly because they know networks of people. And you want people who already have a network established and that somebody that's trustworthy, so that like when Carrie started, it was easy for her to say, okay, we're going to talk to these people because she is consistent in who she is and people know her and they trust her. And so she already had a network of people that trusted her. And so it just makes it a lot easier. Another thing when we were making our list, and I still do this with the ISA movies, I'll go to isamovie.com. And first of all, if you don't know those videos like the back of your hand, then you want to go watch them tonight, because if you have the opportunity right now to have $1 million business, but you don't even know the tools that you have in place. And so I'm going to share this story that you might have heard me share before, but C.B. Hustle's husband, Dave, had a friend, and he wanted to be a Walmart greeter at Christmas. He just thought it would be something fun to do, and he'd get to meet lots of great people and bring people joy at Christmas time. So he went to Walmart and said, I want to be a greeter at Walmart at Christmas. And this guy does really well. He didn't have to do that. It's just something he chose to go do. He got there and they said, well, sir, you have to come to 2 days of training if you want to do that. He had to have 16 hours of training from Walmart to be a door greeter and say, Merry Christmas, here's a sticker, have a good day. And you guys, I would ask you, how many of you have spent 16 hours in your back office or 16 hours on ISA Movie learning the movies, knowing the tools? Because the tools will create duplication within your team. Like if you have to be the one who puts on the show, your ego will be big, but your paycheck will be small, because you don't need to be there all the time. Like I do this, so I have a whole team of people doing this, so I can like watch, SpongeBob. We don't watch that at my house, actually, so I don't even know why I said that. It's usually the one I ban. But, one of the kids shows, like, whatever, they have so many. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I do this, so I have freedom. So just when you're, doing this, if I were to say to you, I don't ever have to think about, if I was going to talk to Nikki, for example, I would say, okay, Nikki, you tell me you want to make money and you're a mom. I would tell you to go watch Under Ice, the movie. I want you to go to Weight Loss, and you can just link them to them. But I would have her, watch Enterprising Women, because it's all moms who are at home with their kids, right? I'd have her watch that. I'd have her watch Transform Your Life. If it was somebody who was of retirement age, I would say, Kathy, I want you to go to Healthy Aging, and I want you to watch, telomeres and aging. So she would watch that video. And then I'd want you to watch Under Wealth Creation, Retire Early with an Encore Career. So the videos like the back of your hand. You guys use the tools, because Jimmy Smith, has mentored me for a long time. And he said, Hilari, 90% of my business is duplication and 10% is perspiration. So you have to use the tools, and don't think you have to be the one, out there sharing it. Another thing that I loved that someone else that I was talking to said that they do is every day they try to add 2 people to their list. So you don't actually have to contact those 2 people, but like 2 people that you meet in your daily activities, 2 people that you meet, through your kids, 2 people that you meet out and about, 2 people that like today I had to run by Target. And so when I was there was a mom that was her son and Fisher were in school and preschool last year together, and we hadn't seen each other. And I was like, hi, how are you? And she's like, great, how are you? And she's like, you look like you just came from the gym. I said, I did. And she said, so did I. And she said, you guys have a lot of background noise. Let me try to mute everybody again. Oh, there we go. Maybe they got it quiet. Okay. And so I just said, she said, you look like you were just at a workout. And I said, I was. And she said, so was I. And we started talking, and she said, yeah, I've got to lose some weight before the holidays. We're going to Germany for Christmas. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, so what's your plan? She's like, oh, I'm taking spin class 3 days a week. And I said, I'd love to connect with you on Facebook, because we used to have some great nutrition that I think would really help you. She's like, no problem. She literally handed me her phone in the Target aisle, and I put it in my phone. And so, 2 connections every day. And so just listen to these numbers. If you can add 2 people to your list every day, and you do that 6 days a week, you'll add 600 people over a year's time. And you guys, that is the difference when I look at people who are professional network marketers, is that we're always adding people to our list. Adding people every day, like the girl that I met, Carrie, on the plane, Crystal, who was she worked at the hotel, the Marriott, where we were in Chicago for UIA. Like all these new people that were rolling. Sierra did microblading on my eyebrows. She was a girl that got started. Yeah, we were on a call a couple weeks ago, and she'd be like, I met Hilari, she's a microblading client. And then afterwards she's like, oh, I don't know if you don't want people to know that. So they look so cute because they're microbladed. So whoever, you guys, just in your daily life, like meet people, and so network on purpose, like go, and think, okay, today, 2 people, I've got to add 2 people to my list. And in a year, I'm going to have 600 new people to my list. Does that mean they're all going to enroll in Isagenix? No, but you're going to develop relationships with people, and you're going to love on people, because you guys, people want to be loved on. People want to be cared about. People want authenticity. They don't want to, I talked to my kids about this yesterday. Like, we live in this world where everybody like wants to look like a Kardashian, or wants to do this or be this. Like, everybody's trying to fit in this mold, and people just want to follow somebody who's really them. Like, they don't want to follow somebody who's trying to be somebody else. They want to follow someone who's just being themselves. And if you do that, you're going to attract people who you mesh with, and people that you're going to, have the best results with anyway, because you're going to attract people who are like-minded to yourself. So another thing, when I was at the UIA in Chicago, a lady said, we fish, we don't hunt. And I was like, And she's like, we have the best bait of anybody. She's like, we just fish, we don't hunt. If you just put enough bait out, you're going to get people that are going to bite. You don't have to hunt. And I think that's so true. People don't want to be known as a person that they walk in and everybody's like, oh. And so we have the best bait. So if you have 600 people and you're posting on your Facebook and you're building relationships with them, people are going to want to do what you do. They're going to ask questions. They're going to want to try the products. They're going to want to know more about this awesome community of positive, like-minded people. So just remember that and keep adding people to your list, And so you guys, when you are building consultants, I think so as far as enrolling people, it's just doing those steps, consistently meeting new people, adding people to your list, sharing with people every single day. And we talked about this last week, and I think we talk about it all the time, but the 5 by 5 by 5 or 3 by 3 by 3, sharing with 3 new people a day or 5 new people a day, that's consistency is the key in anything. And I remember talking to Lori Harder one time about working out and stuff. And, she's like, I don't work out 16 hours a day. I work out consistently, 30 minutes every day. It's just consistent is the key, and that's how it is in this business too. Just if you're consistent daily in doing things that are income producing activities. So not managing your people, not checking your cycles in your back office, not making, a pretty invitation, like actually doing things that grow your business, enrolling, following up, coaching, things that are income producing activities, you're going to see your business grow. So that's as far as enrollments. And as far as then getting those people to consultant, Jimmy Smith said to me from the beginning, like when you sponsor someone, you take responsibility for them. And that doesn't mean that you do it for them, but it means you at least show them and direct them in the right, direction. And so when someone enrolls, I think, our job should be to help every single person become a consultant. Now, is everybody going to do that? No. But if you cast the vision with people and you show them how, there's a lot more apt that they will. And I've met people who, when I was in New Orleans this last time, one of the guys I was drawing out, you share, they share. And he said, I'm already past my 60-day window. Did I miss that bonus? And I said, yeah, you did. And he's like, oh, I wish I would have known. I would have went for that. So if people don't know, they don't know. I mean, they can't, hit manager or hit consultant if they don't even know it's there. And we don't want to talk to people about money because people are, you can't talk about money. That's just something we don't do. But you guys, I mean, if I were to say to all of you on here, you could either have the perfect body or you can have a financial freedom for the rest of your life, you would take the financial freedom because you could hire the trainer. You'd have the time to do all that other stuff. But we don't want to talk about money. And, getting people to consultant, it's just something that we do with every single person because, we had a lady that just hit consultant last week when Justin hit executive, and she made $160 back, and she called. She was so excited. She's like, I have all these other people. And it's hilarious because before she hit consultant, literally for the last 3 weeks, I've been trying to get her just to let me talk to 2 people. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. And I'm like, you're a hairdresser. You know people. And so she got these 2 people and made $160. And now, you guys, she knows everybody in the county, which is what I knew she knew before, and she wants to talk to everyone. But she would have never done that had I just not kept saying, Debbie, who do you know? Debbie, who do you know? Texting her. Debbie, do you realize if you enroll 2 people, you make $154? Debbie, do you realize, just sticking with it and just staying on them because she loved the product. So why would she not share with 2 people, you guys? But we give up on people so easy and we move on to the next person instead of pouring into the people we have. There's a book by a pastor in St. Louis, and the book's called There's a Miracle in Your House. And it's so good. It talks about we look everywhere for when I get that person, my business will change. When I get that person, my business is going to blow up. You're the person. You get that? You're the person you're looking for if you just do the work. The miracle is already in your house. You're the miracle. But you have to do the work, and you have to develop the right mindset and the right attitude and the right work ethic, and not let your circumstances define what's going to happen. Circumstances are such a little point of our life. It's how we choose to respond to those that really forms and shapes our lives. So, when I'm doing that, my posture with people, I'm like, why would you not want to get 2 people? I mean, I don't understand why people would not get 2 people. And so I just keep talking to people, and I'm passionate about it. I'm excited. I'm like, let's do this. We're going to help you get 2, and they want to do it. They get excited. And there's different ways. I mean, we're working with Charles. He's in Oklahoma. So we've done Zooms with him like this to get people in front of his people. But, once someone has their hand up, are you working with them? Are you in their house, doing the launch parties? I know I sound like a broken record, but if I looked at your calendar right now, I could tell you if you're going to be successful or not. I mean, I could look at your calendar and say yes or no, because you can look out at our calendar and there's literally stuff each week for Isogenics, presentations we're doing and launch parties. And, whether it's on the computer, whether it's 3-way calls or whether it's in person, you guys, but there is something special about being in somebody's house and saying to me, Christy, tell me about your kids. Okay, what are their names? What are they involved in? That we know, Carrie's in Michigan, but we know where Morgan's going to school, and we know that Riley's on the soccer team. We know those things. And you guys, we have thousands of people on our team. But if you don't make a concerted effort to know the people that you're in this with, you're never going to build relationships. And relationships are the glue that are going to make your business grow. At least for us. This is just what we found. And so, you have to be consistent, and you have to be, excited about it. And you have to believe that you can do it. That is another thing. If you've never been to a UIA with David Wood, it's my favorite event by far of any event the company offers. And I love New Year's kickoff, and you should all go. If you're not registered, you need to get registered. It's going to sell out, and you can go see the headquarters. If you book your ticket, they're only giving 6 tours of the headquarters. So I would get your tickets right away. I mean, it's not something you want to miss. Like Kathy Coover said to me when I started, our leadership is there. So if you're the leadership of the company, if you want to be the leadership of the company and you don't have a ticket, I don't really buy what you're telling me. And so you should show up. But I love what David teaches, because if you can't get your mindset right, you can't lead other people. And today I was listening to a sermon by Joel Osteen, and he said this, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I literally pulled over and hit rewind, and then I typed it into my phone. And it says, you will never rise in your authority if you have a feeling of inferiority about yourself. And it says, so you will never rise in your authority if you have a feeling of inferiority about yourself. So if you don't believe you're capable, and you don't believe, you're able to lead, and you don't believe you're worthy, and you don't believe you have value, why would anybody follow you? I mean, why would anybody follow you? And why would you be promoted? You're not going to if you don't have that belief. And so if your belief is not a 10 out of 10 in yourself, which is usually the lowest belief, then I would say put the right, things in your mind, get the right podcast, whatever that is for you. Every day it is a non-negotiable that I listen to one of his sermons for 30 minutes, because it just changes my whole frame of thinking. So it's whatever it does it for you. It doesn't have to be that. It can be a book or an audio or David Wood, or go to Isagenix podcast and put something positive in your brain, but something so that what you put in, we've said this a million times, but your thoughts become things. They become real things. And it was so interesting. I was at Bible study a couple weeks ago, and the lady leading it said, do you guys realize your thoughts become things? And it was like this awakening for everybody there. And I'm like, for real? Come on, people. We know this. Because you guys, it's true. What you think about and what you focus on becomes your reality. And so, how many of you are focused on qualifying for Rise Up for next year? If you're not, you should be. It's the best event there is. We love it. And it's for all the 2-stars on our team. You just have to be a 2-star and an executive to be able to attend the event. This next year is going to be in Lake Tahoe. We're announcing where it is. It's going to be in October. Jim and Kathy Coover have a vacation home in Lake Tahoe, so they might be making an appearance, or they might not be. I don't know. You'll just have to see. You have to qualify and find out. But it's going to be awesome. You have to hit 20 cycles to come. You have to hit 20 cycles, 2 different weeks, and you have to be a paid as executive. And all the details are going out about that in the next, couple weeks. But again, that's going to be in Lake Tahoe, and it is October, I think, 4th through the 7th, I think. Those are the dates, but it's going to be awesome. And so you've got to be a 2-star to be there. So put it up on your wall, get it in your calendar. Say, okay, I'm going to do this myself. Even if you have no team building around you, say, I'm going to do a launch party. I'm going to do an in-home presentation every single week for the next, 12 weeks, and see what happens. I promise you, if you do that every week for the next 12 weeks, even through the holidays, you guys, just like the lady today, she wanted to lose weight before Christmas. People still want to have results in November and December. And so don't think that they don't, and just do that the next 12 weeks, make that commitment to yourself and to your family. For the next 12 weeks, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see what happens. And at the end of the 12 weeks, you're going to have new team members, and then you're going to help those team members become consultants. And then you're going to become an executive. I mean, if executive freaks you out, if it looks so far away and you're like, I can't lead, I don't know how to do that, then do what I'm telling you. Just enroll people. And for every single enrollment you get, schedule an in-home. For every single enrollment, schedule an in-home. And that's, what we've done for 11 years. And it's what we still do. It's how we just got Justin's spot to executive. that same thing. It's nothing new. Like I said, it's consistency in the monotonous, but it's what, it's what works. So I don't know. I hope that helps you guys. Like, it's just, remember, it's enrolling, rank advancing, enrolling, rank advancing. Somebody asked me what we do. Someone on our team, like, what's your secret? And I'm like, we enroll people and we rank advance them. We enroll people and we rank advance them. That's it. That's all you do consistently. And Jimmy Smith, when the company came out with, it was you plus two, them plus two. A few years ago, I was with Jimmy at Celebration and he started laughing and he said, haven't I forever just said help everyone get two people? Is that not the same thing as this? And I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing as this, Jimmy. And you guys made what, like $40 million with his two daughters in 15 years. And that's what he's done, is enroll people and help them get there too. So, like Jimmy says, don't complicate his business. Don't complicate my business. Just, it's simple. And, I was talking to a group last week, and then I'll end with this. And they were like, this lady just said, I just don't know who to talk to. I mean, I just don't know. We did a launch party and afterward I was talking to her. She said, I just don't know who I would talk to. And I said, okay, who do you know tomorrow that's going to eat breakfast? Do you know anybody that's going to eat breakfast tomorrow? And she goes, well, yeah. Like, all those people, they're just going to substitute their breakfast with a shake. All those 50 people that are going to eat tomorrow, those are the people you talk to. And so you guys just remember just to keep it simple, just talk to people about what an amazing product we have, because we have the best product on the planet. That's why we have the compensation plan that we have. And then help them to find two people who just want to eat better. They don't have to be two people that want to build a business, two people that want to eat better. And somebody asked Justin that in Michigan, like he said when he came home, that someone had said to him, like, who do I invite? I don't know people that want to build a business. And he's like, no, just get like 3 or 4 of your 5 your friends, family who want to eat better food to your house and show it to them. And then we got a text last night from Ryan, and Ryan said, he's one of our guys in Michigan. I want to read it to you. Pull it up. We got it really early this morning, actually, I think. Let me find it. He said, it was this morning. He said, I want to thank you. This was to Justin. I want to thank you for coming to West Michigan and meeting with us for your advice and strategy. We had our first sip and sample on Sunday. We enrolled 2 people, and I've already coordinated with those 2 people to get some of their friends and family to have their own. I'm going to do my best to have a sip and sample or a lunch and learn every single week for the next 6 weeks. And so you guys, that was their very first one, and they enrolled 2 people. So if they do that for the next 6 weeks, that's 12 enrollments over the next 6 weeks. And then they're going to do the same thing for those people. So it's so simple. It's just a matter of doing the work. So that's what I would encourage all of you guys to do, is just, set it up still for this week. I mean, Justin was up there and they set it up for Sunday and he was with them on Friday. So they didn't plan 3 weeks in advance. It took them 2 days to get people in their home. So do the same thing. You guys will do great. All right. So talk to you next week. Bye.
Thank you.